Okay. So, recap of last week. You guys left the Vistani camp, but before you left the Vistani camp, they gave you a horse and a cart to make travel a little bit easier on you guys. The large draft horse that they gave you, his name is Mikhail. And so far, he's been pretty good with you guys. No trouble. You guys went onto the small trail that the Vistani had basically made with their carts because of their travel to the Seer encampment at Seer Pool, and you guys got back up on the main road and you found yourselves at Seer Falls, where Irina and Ismark wanted to stop because it was a special place for them, and this allowed the horse to get a drink and you guys to fill your water skins and whatever you needed to do. As Ismark was preparing the horse and hooking the horse back up to the cart, you guys were interrupted by a newcomer. You guys were very nervous about this newcomer because they looked quite odd. And this was Primrose. And after a little talking, you guys accepted her and brought her along. But not before Strahd came and made a visit. And twirled Ismark's head like a top. Sam was able to spare the dying and realign his head and neck and cure wounds on him enough to stabilize him and get him back up to 1 hit point. When Strahd disappeared, you all got back on the road with Irina leading the cart now, and Primrose told you guys a little bit about herself. Primrose and Sam in the distance eventually saw a windmill, and in a little bit of confusion, Irina stopped for you guys, and you saw the witch Morgantha enter the windmill. After a bit of idle threats and opening a chest to find 2 children inside of it, you guys fought Morgantha and her 2 sisters as they revealed they were night hags. It was quite a crazy fight. There was a lot of damage done to you guys, but you guys were able to take out the night hags, and you found the children, and the children are now very close to Irina. They're quite nervous around you guys, but they did tell you that they didn't want to go back home because their uncle had sold them for pies. When we left off, Lana was getting ready to go upstairs. You all had rolled perception checks for funsies, and that is where we will start. Your perception checks were: Sam, you had a 24, Lana, you had a natural 20, Liliana, you had a 22, and Primrose, you had a 13. Lana, you were going up the stairs, so I will pause on your beautiful roll. Sam and Liliana, you guys notice that there are cabinets all around, and you can see some flasks in them. Primrose, you notice that because Sam did mend the children's clothes, the kids are sticking really close to Irina, but they're staring at the pies. They know the pies are bad, but they're obviously very hungry. But you also managed to see a very large barrel. The barrel is over here. The cabinets are here. And that is where we will start off.
Well, how is everybody set for... Okay. Well, we definitely need a long rest after we're done searching this place, but let's finish searching the place out. Search the cabinets, the barrel, blah blah blah. Thorough search of the lower half.
Oh, by the way, Liliana, you also see very small human bones that are on the floor.
Oh, nice.
In the cabinet, you find three flasks. They have tags on them, and one says youth elixir, one says laughter elixir, and one says mother's milk elixir.
Youth, laughter, and mother's milk.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm thinking this is all crap none of us actually want to keep.
Well, you could roll, I guess you could say medicine to, like, see if you know exactly what they do.
I mean, okay, if medicine it is, then I will take a medicine roll. Oh, where is it? Medicine. I actually has that.
I know.
And not bad's at it, too.
That's not bad at all. You look at the youth elixir, and inside this Florence flask, you have a gold syrup. You know that this magically makes the imbuer appear younger and more attractive for 24 hours. It radiates transmutation magic, and it's worth 500 gold.
Fuck, okay, pocket that badass then. Some noble woman will want one of those, maybe.
You see the laughter elixir, and this is a red, brown, watery tea sort of mixture in a large, stoppered beaker. This is non-magical, but it infects the imbuer with cackle fever.
Oh.
When you inspect the mother's milk elixir, you see that it is a milky green cream in a glass Florence flask. A dose of pale tincture poison.
Pale tincture poison?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a youth cream.
You have a youth elixir, a laughter elixir, and a mother's milk elixir.
And what exactly does this mother's milk poison do?
I'm bringing it up. Give me just a second.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a separate roll or something.
Oh, no. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Gotcha.
The
What?
pale tincture has to be ingested, or, if put on something, it can be... A creature is subjected to this poison must succeed a DC 16 Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 poison damage and become poisoned. The poisoned creature must repeat the saving throw every 24 hours, taking the 1d6 poison damage on a fail save. Until this poison ends, the damage the poison deals cannot be healed by any means. The creature must make 7 successful saving throws to end the effect. And then the creature can heal normally.
Any creature?
It just says a creature.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
It says a creature.
That would be
That's okay.
great.
Good thing you're upstairs and don't know we have this then.
Yeah.
Oh.
What you get for freaking walking off ahead of people.
I was walking up. That's it. I thought we were going up. We said we were done downstairs. I said, okay, well then I'm going upstairs.
Liliana,
Gotcha.
are you the one inspecting the barrel?
Yes.
Inside this barrel, you find a thick, inky black liquid that seems to occasionally move on its own.
Ew.
I don't think I have anything that I could scoop it up in.
Anyone who wants to go and investigate the barrel, give me a...
If somebody like yelled out that stuff was in there, you know, so a certain somebody who's going upstairs can come back down.
Give me a...
Primrose can either inspect the barrels or just like look at the pies, specifically the meat pies, and just try to decipher which might be human.
Okay, give me a
And
second.
what?
Give me a second for that.
You're kind of quiet. I couldn't hear what you were doing.
Okay,
She's inspecting the pies.
or the barrels.
Or
Either
the
one,
barrels.
either one.
How about we do this? You bring over a pie as you're coming to look at this barrel.
Yes.
I will allow anybody that wants to investigate the barrel, you can either roll an investigation for me, or you can roll a religion for me.
Religion it is.
One or the other.
And I will give, actually I'll take guidance on that too.
Okay.
Hold on, which is, actually everybody take guidance on your, whatever your skill checks are.
Yep, so just roll a d4.
That's an 18.
Mm-hmm. Roll that d4.
Okay, so that turns to a 14. Better than a...
Okay, Liliana and Sam. You guys, after watching the way this liquid moves, you guys realize that this is demon ichor. And that the hags, if they would have gotten a chance, could have summoned something with this.
Proper method of disposal?
Drinking it.
I mean, if you're that stupid, go right ahead.
Are you gonna drink it?
No. Thankfully, I'm not that
I'll
stupid.
hear you afterwards, but hey.
I mean, if you're gonna cure me afterwards, I mean, why not? Like,
Well, I mean, the cure to drinking demon stuff like that when you get possessed is usually insert sharp thing into body.
Yeah, it's killing you.
oh yeah, no.
And
no,
then they
I'm
have,
drink-
and right now
Afterward.
they would have to find someone to res you. Thankfully, Sam does have the spare the dying cantrip, so it basically makes it so you can't die for a bit.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
It stabilizes the body.
But you know that also means that it stabilizes the demon's new house. So, I mean, there wouldn't be a point.
Is Primrose just looking at this, just not knowing what's happening?
I believe she's paying more attention to the pie.
And she's just looking at the pie, looking between the barrel and the pie, like, so what's that?
So, Liliana, jeez, Primrose. As you're inspecting this pie, and you find a piece of meat and you look at it, and you notice it's a little stringy, and you sniff it, and it kind of reminds you of pork, but it's sweeter.
So pork.
And
but
this
sweeter?
is when you realize that the meat is children.
Oh god.
This is human meat in the meat pie. Specifically children. Basically like veal.
The other white meat.
Mm-hmm.
So Primrose smells this, and she like immediately like turns like even whiter than she already is, which is almost impossible, and like sets the pie down very gently before just like covering her mouth like she's gonna vomit. Like
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Hold on, let me find it. Wait, I'm dumb.
Right under your ability scores, there will be a little box that says saving throws.
14.
That might do it.
You do not vomit,
Yay.
but you're very close to it. You're like dry heaving.
She just starts like taking very deep breaths and closes her eyes and just takes a few steps away before she points at the pie and looks at Sam and Liliana and just says, "That meat is most certainly the meat of children. That is a smell that cannot be replicated in any way in my eyes. That is, without a doubt, innocent children that are in that pie."
Yes, they pretty much admitted to that. That's why we killed them.
Thought maybe adults, teenagers, but not children.
Well, I mean, we did rescue these two children from out of the larder.
I kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt that maybe this.
No, they were hags. You don't give hags the benefit of the doubt. They're non-humans. They're more demon than any. They're not even humanoid creatures. They're not like. They're different things altogether. They don't go by. That's just, have you ever eaten lamb?
Hasn't everyone?
Right. Have you eaten children is like asking them, have you eaten children is like asking you, have you eaten lamb? They're different creatures altogether. They have a whole different set of what's appropriate and not.
Oh, I've certainly never met a, and then she makes air quotes, hag before.
Well, neither have I. Only read about them.
Oh,
This was a first.
You read?
I'm sorry?
You read?
I mean, yes.
Oh, well, kind of assumed. Never mind. What?
Making assumptions, okay.
I love how
So,
she assumed
what
he
do we
can't
do now?
read.
I mean, that has to be a human elf thing, right?
She must think that at least some other species are just completely inept. Like,
I do know you're an elf. Like it's yes, we're elves, therefore we're just automatically better than you as a thing.
okay, she was raised in like a main elf-dominated cult. So I mean, like, she does have that feeling of slight superiority where she has not met very many other species. She's only really come in contact with animals for 174 years of her life and other elves. So I feel like for the 50 years she's been out here, she still kind of assumes at least a little bit that some other humanoid species are just barbarian.
Well, we humans are very short-lived in comparison to you elves. If we didn't learn how to read, we wouldn't be able to learn near as much. Most of us that are... how do I put it? Most of us that are professional individuals know how to read.
Oh, you all don't know how to read?
Not all of us know.
Oh. Alright then.
I mean, do you all know how to shoot a bow?
Everyone in my tribe does.
Oh, then that elven stereotype is correct.
Why to stereotype different races? And then
Sam's just laughing his ass off.
she cuts herself off after like judging you for stereotyping her, but before realizing that she in fact stereotyped you first. Like, and
Which is exactly why he's laughing his ass off.
She just covers her mouth and looks away very guiltily. Well, I'm sorry for assuming that you were illiterate.
Not a problem.
But it's
Now, you wouldn't happen to know how to destroy Demon Ichor, would you? Would dumping holy water in it work?
Demon what?
Demon Ichor.
I've never come across.
It's kind of like blood. Demons have ichor, not blood.
Ooh. Well, I know how to dispose of normal blood, but I've...
Well, normal blood you can let soak into the ground. This I wouldn't do that with.
Of course, if it belongs to a demon, that would destroy nature itself.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we could burn it?
I mean, that's not a horrible idea. But... Yeah, it's not a horrible idea, but I'd rather... Yeah, I mean... Fire usually works if nobody else knows how a proper way to do it, or a different way. Oof.
Lana comes stomping down the stairs and she says, "What is taking so long?" And she sees everybody around the barrel.
Like that with everybody, aren't you?
I'm sorry?
Hey, you might want to come down here. I found some stuff we have to get rid of. And do you know how to get rid of Demon Ichor?
I don't know. Do I know how to get rid of Demon Ichor?
I don't know.
Do either of us know how to get rid of Demon Ichor?
Why don't everybody, who wants to try and get rid of the Demon Ichor, roll religion checks?
Perfect. Everybody take guidance.
Guidance?
Oh, that'll probably do on its own.
Yeah, I'm not sure if...
But we'll do it that way, too. So 26 total.
1d4?
Yes.
I got a 23.
Nice.
It's been forever and a day. So I've got 7.
Okay. So... So Sam and Primrose.
Yeah. Yo.
You two know that to get rid of Demon Ichor, you have to use some sort of divine power to do it.
How much of it is there?
It's a whole barrel.
Divine power. Ooh, okay.
Yep, I might be able to do this. Oh, never mind.
Lana's gonna look at the...
That might actually work.
The things in the flasks, and she's going to point to the weird-looking one, which is the mother's milk. Or what was it? Mother's
Hold on.
something?
Sam, didn't you pocket those?
I did, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, Sam pocketed those, so you don't see them.
So I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll actually inform the group, in a minute when Sam remembers after the deep comes up. Okay, so, purify food and drink. Is demon blood non-magical, liquid? Can I use purify food and drink on it? Because it says, it has to be food or drink. So I mean...
that has to be food or drink, I believe.
I mean, that's why I'm asking if you'd consider demon blood drinkable, like a drink.
I wouldn't. Personally, that's...
No, that's totally fine. Otherwise, I would have to do,
You do have a paladin right there, too.
I know. But I'm trying to figure out what divine power do we apply to it.
He's just trying to figure out how to do it all himself. That's it.
Heavenly fire.
Dude, if you can just touch it with heavenly fire, that works way better than what I've got at this point. Because I can't target the barrel with sacred flame.
I don't have heavenly fire.
It's some sort of heavenly fire.
I mean,
You don't have the thing that
okay.
lights your weapon up?
Hold on. I have heroism, divine favor. I have your prayer empowers you with divine radiance. Until the spell ends, your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4. I've got ceremony.
That might actually work. The one with your weapon attack.
Ceremony. I can bless water.
Yeah, no, I can do that one. Oh,
Lana,
Yes.
you are a paladin.
Uh-huh.
What special thing do you have as a paladin that you can imbue your weapon with?
she has a spell that just does it for the
I can
duration.
do
or she
divine
has
smite or guided strike.
I was gonna say, you have divine smite,
Okay.
Oh, good. You can get rid of the demon blood.
and it won't take it. You know, you can expend one spell slot, so it's still gonna take a spell slot either way, but it deals extra damage with your weapon hit.
And that can be considered holy fire. Or what? Okay, cool.
Exactly. Holy fire.
Yes. So you can get rid of that coolness.
I mean, okay.
But you can't just leave demon ichor laying around. It'll corrupt anything it touches. You don't want that getting out into the wild, do you?
You also don't want another coven of hags to come.
Or people to accidentally poke around in it, or kids.
Or people.
Good deal.
Like proper
2d8.
disposal of toxic waste.
Yep, 2d8 extra radiant damage.
Plus
Oh.
1d8 for each spell level higher than first. Well, right now we're only at first, right?
Mm-hmm. Right now you only have first level spells.
Okay, well, it's my last slot.
No, shouldn't you have second level spells by now?
No,
Or is that a
Mm-mm.
she's only got first.
Oh. Paladins are weird.
Paladins are weird. It's not
Lana's
gonna take much.
take her silver sword, since it's silver,
Mm-hmm.
and use that. Hold on, let me. That's that, and then I do. Did I hit it?
Yes, it's not gonna take much to hit this thing.
Okay.
Because right now it's just a barrel of moving goo.
That's the 2d8,
Mm-hmm.
and then
That'll take care of it right there. The divine smite right there. Plus that, so that's what, 24?
Yeah, 24 points of damage.
Okay, so yeah.
Where 13 of it is radiant.
Mm-hmm. So the 13 radiant damage completely takes care of the ichor. You guys watch as Lana imbues her weapon with...
Can I describe it?
Yes!
Lana looks at the ichor, and she can already feel the evil that comes from it. And what she does is she closes her eyes and she prays to Scotty, and she can feel an overwhelming sense of calmness and righteousness imbue her and flow from her heart down to her silver sword. And she watches it as it radiates this beautiful golden light as she lifts it up, and she says, is it giant that they speak? Yeah, it's giant. She says something in giant as she slams down her short sword into the barrel.
You do that, and you watch as this entire barrel erupts in holy fire, and every single one of you can hear this unearthly scream, and you can see the ichor kind of form a hand as it tries to reach out of the barrel, but eventually the barrel just turns to ash, and there's this large scorch mark where the demon ichor has burned until it has just left this big black mark on the floor.
When she sees what happened, she smiles and she closes her eyes and she nods. And she resheaths her sword and she looks at the others and she says, "Are we done down here yet?"
I think that's about it. We found a couple of vials of stuff. One of them will be immediately useful. Or not immediately useful. One of them's useful for selling. It's a youth elixir. So if we can find any nobility laying about, I'm sure they can afford the price of buying it. The other was a poison called Mother's Milk, and then the third thing was Jim's brain is already shot. What was the third flask?
The third flask was, you said the youth and the laughter elixir?
Laughter, that was it.
Laughter.
Yeah, there's a youth, mother's milk, and laughter.
Lana looks to Sam and she looks at him puzzled and she says, "What does nobility have to do with youthfulness?"
They're rich. It's worth a lot of money.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And what is this poison?
A pretty nasty one, actually. It does a little bit of damage once every 24 hours. It does a little bit of damage per day until your body fights it off. But your body has to fight it off for 7 days in a row before it'll cleanse the poison from you. You can't heal the damage from it until the poison is cleansed from you.
Lana looks around the room and then she looks to Sam and she says, Do you think that would work on Strahd?
I don't know. It's possible. He is technically undead. And undead tend to not care about things like poison, but he's a vampire. They're a whole different ball of yarn there.
Depending on
they don't follow some of the rules.
Yeah, depending on which myth lore
Right.
you are going by.
I mean, it would be an
might
excellent
succumb.
attempt.
I say we at least pocket that one.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yes. Did you manage to find anything upstairs before we got done down here?
No, I didn't want to actually go up
Alrighty then.
into the door without anybody. So, if we could,
Alrighty then.
let's go.
You guys start to move up the stairs, and Irina kind of huddles the kids against her, and she looks at the three of you, and she says, I'm gonna take them outside.
Sure. Check on Eastmarch too. See how he is doing.
Of course. And as she walks outside with the kids, you guys hear a very loud cawing sound. And in the doorway, if you guys look, you notice that Irina looks up and you hear flapping wings as it leaves before she disappears out the door with the two kids.
Fact, somebody has to go outside with her. I'll give everybody guidance. I'll go out with Irina.
Can Primrose tag along?
Yes.
By all means.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Cool.
So Liliana
Is
and
that
Lana are going
familiar
up.
voice that I heard fucking Strahd? God damn it.
Yes.
God!
So I'm gonna move us to the next screen, but I will do something with Sam and Primrose real fast. Sam and Primrose, as you guys follow Irina out, she kind of looks back at you guys. Oh, you didn't want to search the place?
We're protecting you. We did take that as a job, and since we heard something out here, we figure at least some of us should come out here with you.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
It was just a raven.
That
They're not going to hurt anyone.
Better safe than sorry.
Oh, okay.
The safety of you and the children is our most important job. And yes, it is better safe than sorry, as that did not sound like an ordinary raven, at least to me. But, what do I know?
It was an ordinary raven. They're all over the place here. Oh, have you guys been told about the ravens?
No.
Are they unique somehow?
Oh, well, the ravens. It is known that if you kill a raven, you are cursed with bad luck, depending on how many you kill. So, I would suggest not doing that. They don't do anything. They don't hurt anyone.
I see.
They just watch. And you can hear another cawing sound, and the raven kind of flies over you guys and goes back and lands on this piece of wood that would have held a sign back in the day for the name of the windmill, and it just lands on there and perches there and watches you guys.
Oh, well, suppose maybe my paranoia is getting the best.
I can't hardly hear you at all.
Maybe I'll just hello.
There.
Well, I suppose maybe I'm just a bit paranoid. That does seem to be just a normal little raven. How cute.
This place does that too. You'll get used to it.
I understand.
And Irina will move and she'll take the kids back to the cart and she'll gently lift each of them up into the cart with Ismark, and Ismark appears to still be breathing. Boomer is out there as well, just sitting next to the cart.
Excellent.
Okay, we will go to Lana and Liliana now. Now, Lana, you got a natural 20. So as you guys come up here, you see that the windows are caked in dirt and allow for very little light to enter this 8-foot high chamber, most of which is taken up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling in the center of the room. There's a stone staircase that continues up towards the sound of loud crackling. Lana, when you get up here and you look around, as it states, the only thing that you see is the wooden gear shaft that rises through the ceiling at the center of the room. There are holes in the floor, but where you guys are at right now, you would have to go to the windows and wipe the windows off to be able to see through the windows. But other than that, that is all you see on this floor.
Oh, excuse me.
Lana's gonna look at Liliana and say, well, I don't see anything else on this floor. We can continue moving up.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Lana nods and she pulls out her shield and puts it ahead of her and goes up the stairs very cautiously.
Okay. You guys go up to the 3rd floor and you are I apologize, excuse me. You are met with a small, what looks to be a bedroom. Dancing around a thick wooden gear shaft in the center of this very cramped and circular room are 2 beds, one of which is an actual bed. The other appears to be a pile of maybe sheets, maybe clothes, and straw. You can see there's a crate that's partially opened and stairs that continue to go upward.
Lana's going to inspect the crate.
Okay. In this crate, you just see straw and some old children's clothes.
Are they whole or are they ripped up?
They're like moth-eaten.
Okay.
So there are little holes in them, but they're not terribly ripped up.
Liliana's gonna go check the clothes, even though she's like sort of hesitant about it.
Okay. Can you roll me an investigation check, please?
Nine.
Okay.
Don't forget you have a D4 for guidance if you want it. I did give you that
for
my lap.
guidance. If you want to roll that D4.
11. That helps so much.
You look through this pile of straw and clothing, and you don't find anything. There's nothing in there. Maybe a tiny little spider crawls out and starts climbing up the wall. But other than that, there's nothing there.
Can I befriend the spider?
I mean,
Yes, Ranger.
You can try.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Does a bug count as an animal?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Spider is an arachnid.
Yeah.
Yes, a spider is an arachnid.
Alright.
Nerd.
So I'm just going to say, hey, what's up, my dude? The spider.
You watch the spider pause on the wall.
Lana is kind of freaked out hearing Liliana.
Because what you hear Liliana saying, to you, it sounds like... It just sounds like clicks. And this spider... You are... odd.
Oh, trust me, I have a big dog outside. I speak to every now and then. I know I'm...
That's nice. What do you want?
Well... since you were here, do you know anything about these 3 hags that were here?
I mean, I have not been here that long, but They like children?
Alright. What's your name, Mr. Spider?
Mrs.
Mrs. My fault. My apologies. What's your name, Mrs. Spider?
First time I've had to like randomly come up with a name. Hold on.
Yeah,
Guys are dicks.
Agnes. Her name is Agnes.
Her name is not Agnes. The first name that popped into my head, I am not going to say until I am done with this conversation with the spider.
Bethany.
Is it not Charlotte?
Fuck you, because that was the first one that came up.
I mean, duh.
This
Where's her
spider's-
friend, the Wilbur the pig?
There are pigs and chickens outside.
Oh my god, Charlotte?
God fucking damn it. I'm gonna go with Charlotte because I fucking hate you guys.
Oh, I love being a ranger.
I
I love you, Sarah.
I don't think you do. I had a child call me Charlotte once. One of the children that was here. I don't know if they left or not.
Well, there are 2 children outside right now. Downstairs, outside.
You watch as this spider crawls to the nearest window, and with her little spindly legs, you can see them moving across a small spot, and you see her look out the window. No, not those ones.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but, see, the hags,
Oh, I know what they do with them.
yeah.
Sometimes they take them out back, though.
Like Old Yeller!
What's Old Yeller?
A tale that I read about. Sad. It was a, Greek tragedy.
Oh, I don't. Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to know? She's just sitting there on the windowsill.
Is everything all right, Lana? Liliana.
Yeah, it's all good.
What is this old yeller you screamed out?
Again, fictional story.
Your friend
what do
is
you
big.
mean again?
Your friend is big. Don't let her squish me.
Oh, she won't squish you. As long as you wait, how high is the ceiling?
This ceiling is... It's probably about 8 feet tall. So there's just enough room for Lana in here.
I will inform my acquaintance not to crush you, or else I might try to crush her. This is all in like spider clicks, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, I will crush her.
I do not think you would win that.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, I don't think you would win that. Is there something specific you are looking for here? I know that the crate is filled with old clothes that they would bring up, but they did have something in the mattress. It was shiny.
One more question before you can leave.
Hmm.
Do you know about a demon ichor?
What's that?
Demon blood, it was downstairs.
Oh. Oh, that must be where they summoned the weird creature. When the children... The occasion that the children would escape.
Can you describe this creature?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Okay. It was an odd creature, mostly of thick flesh and a bit of fur. It almost looked like a hairless bear, but it had like bat wings and a bat nose and large fangs. Not bat wings, bat ears. It was horrifying.
I'm just gonna say out of character, that sounds so obscenely cursed and horrifying. Like, it sounds like a poorly edited image. Like, you know those things where people, like, make images of, like, Bigfoot or something? Like, that's what I'm imagining.
Here, this is what it is. I'm putting a link into the Strahd I see.
You actually... Okay.
Thanks! No thanks! No thanks!
It was quite awful, and it made the most awful noise. But I know there's something shiny in
I
the
would love
mattress. So I'm going to go now. You are
All right.
odd. Goodbye. She starts
And she
climbing
just
up the window.
She's just scattering away very quickly.
Yep.
Alright, bye, have a nice day. And she just starts speaking normally to Lana, like, oh yeah, hey, sup.
You are very odd.
Funny thing, that's exactly what the spider said.
that is exactly what that spider said to me. Anyways. So, I learned a couple things from the Miss Spider. Know
They
that
have genders. I did not know that. Interesting.
all animals have genders. Don't even mention the they-them spider. Oh my god.
Lana just looks at you, very confused, thinks about it for a beat, and then nods.
So, about the demon ichor, they use that to summon some bat bear.
Bat bear.
The way it was really horrifying to listen to how she described it, but yeah, bat bear.
Well, hopefully you do not speak to that as well.
Lana, with
I don't.
Lana, with your paladin-y, temple-y background, the description that he might give you, you might catch on that it's some sort of dretch.
Well, if Liliana explains it in more detail, she will go through her notes in her mind, and she will nod and she'll say, Oh yes, I know what creature you speak of. In the mountains, we called them the Dretch.
Yeah. He sort of has like. Yeah, she's just like stuttering upon her words, and she's just like, Yeah, never mind. Anyways, there's something in the there's clothes in the box, and
Obviously, that's what we saw.
yeah. I'm working. I try to work here. And she's like shaking her hands next to her head. She's like, I'm trying to work. And there's something in the mattress.
Lana goes straight to the mattress and rips a hole in it with her sword.
Not even gonna save a bit for me. See how it is.
As you rip open this mattress and you watch as straw flies everywhere, you see a slight bit of shine. The mattress is filled with mold as well, so now you're spreading mold everywhere.
She kind of gags as she sees the shiny, and she reaches in.
As you reach in, go ahead.
Looking straight at the shiny because she doesn't want to look at mold.
Okay. As you reach in, you pull out quite a good handful, and you realize it's 6 pieces of jewelry, but it's kind of on the cheap side. Out of character, these are worth 25 gold pieces each. So you have 6 pieces of cheap jewelry worth 25 gold pieces each.
It's 150. You mind giving me 3 of those?
No.
What? You motherfucker!
She puts it in her bag and she looks at you and she says, "We will sell this and get the money and split it evenly amongst the group."
Listen, not
And she
one.
walks off.
Just one, and she's like screaming as she walks off. Just one. I spoke to a spider for it.
Okay. Are you guys going upstairs or are you going down?
Up.
Yeah, Lana's going up.
Okay, just so you know, Lana, the attic part is not big enough for you to stand in.
Oh, but is it big enough for me?
I mean, your head will probably be touching the ceiling almost, Liliana.
How tall am I? Get this roll. I'm 6'3".
So actually, you would be kind of crouched. You'd be hunched over. Because the
Lana
ceiling
walks
here.
up and she sees how how short it is, and she'll shake her head and she'll say, "Well, I can't go in there. If you would like to try, you're more than welcome. But I'm going down to get one of the smaller beings." And she starts walking down.
You just hear her squealing. She's like, "Okay," as she starts to climb the ladder.
Okay. Liliana, as you climb up the ladder and the stairs, you see that you've reached the windmill's peak. You are in a domed chamber filled with old machinery. There's not much room to move around, and light slips in through small holes in the wall. You see a lot of little old abandoned bird nests on the floor.
Can I do investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. Fuck, that says 16!
I'm not seeing your rolls. I haven't seen your rolls a couple of times now on the game log.
I got 10.
You just see old birds' nests. There's nothing else up here.
Okay. Oh, thank God, no monster,
the crackling sound that you guys heard, you realize is just the old machinery of the windmill actually turning.
Lana, make it downstairs outside to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When she sees everybody at the cart, she's going to say it very loudly. She's going to project her voice and say, Liliana is upstairs by herself. It is too small for me. If anybody else wants to go out and help her scavenge, I guess, you're more than welcome to. I will sit down here.
Primrose, like, perks up from talking at a bird. Like, not expecting the bird to respond, just speaking at it. And then she turns around. Oh, she's up there all by herself? Well, I suppose it's only right of me to accompany her in case something happens. I'll go up, don't worry.
How tall are you?
She's like, maybe 5'7".
You are.
Oh, you're about as tall as Sam then. Okay.
You are like the shortest fucking.
We're short people.
Listen.
Yeah, small people.
Listen. You're talking to somebody who in real life is 5'4",
I'm
and the
5'3".
the shortest character I have made is in a playtest group, and she's 5'2" with 2 players that are well over 6 foot tall, so she's constantly having to look up.
Yeah.
Yep. I think this is one of the few characters I've played that's under 6 feet because I'm 6 foot tall, so it makes it easier for me to picture.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Liliana.
I can already imagine it. You know, I'm already 6'1".
Okay.
Liliana, there is nothing up here. So if you want, you can start going back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rose is gonna start heading up.
Okay. You get down to the 3rd level. And you start coming down the ladder to the 2nd level. And that is where you meet with Primrose.
Oh. Quite under the impression that you were in the attic. Did you not find anything? Why are you coming down? Is something wrong?
It was just abandoned bird nests. It was, you know.
Well, if they're abandoned, then... never mind. I'm overthinking again. It's just... most likely the inclining raven population. It might be their season, but I'm not sure. People, or rather things around here are unlike my home. So, I cannot speak on that.
Yeah, same, bro. You know, Feywild and all that jazz.
Yeah. And then she pauses and just goes, nods her head awkwardly. Bro.
Liliana is just like standing there, like arms at her side, just like with like, you know, like the line expression.
Yeah.
Just like staring at her, like, okay, and sort of just like pats her shoulder really awkwardly, and it's like we should go down.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And she just very stiffly turns around and goes back down to the 1st level. And out the door, not even giving Liliana a second look. Like, she's just very awkward and embarrassed. Just that she said slang terms that she did not know the meaning of. Well, everyone, there appears to be nothing in the attic, so...
Except a cool girl spider.
Except a cool girl spider, yes.
Another spider?
No, same spider. I saw it, like, by me.
Anyway, aside from...
Lana leans into Sam and says, Liliana was making weird noises to the spider and thinks that she talked to it.
They do. Rangers do that.
Okay, but listen, right? If Lana found, I told her where to look because the spider told me, and we got what looks to be maybe 140 gold worth.
Primrose's eyes are just closed gently with like a soft smile, and she just pats Lily on the shoulder. Of course, the spider spoke to you. Uh-huh.
The spider fucking did! That's the problem!
Lana, are you of witness to this?
I only saw.
I've never heard a spider talk.
I don't know how spiders speak, but Liliana really thought that she was, so maybe.
Then explain the fucking bed!
Well, everyone settle down. Liliana, why don't you demonstrate how you spoke to this spider? Did you use common language?
Okay, it's not. Here's
Raven,
the thing, right?
the raven that is perched on the wooden bar above the door just kind of squawks at you and flies off towards the distance that you guys are going. It looks like it's trying to lead you somewhere.
Well, did the bird say anything? Because my speak with animals is still active.
You just heard it cawing.
Well, Primrose loads herself into the cart and helps Liliana up because, yeah. And then she goes, anyway, continue. Demonstrate to me how exactly you spoke to the spider while she gets settled all in the cart.
Lana's gonna lean into Liliana's face and say, that bird cawed. Did it speak?
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't. So the weird thing with animals, and she just starts talking about how there's a difference between animals making sounds and animals actually talking for like 15 minutes.
Lana's eyes glaze over.
Hold on. Primrose?
Yes?
You can speak with animals, so you would know when he says that when
Yeah, I
Liliana
know.
says
Doesn't mean she's not going to tease him.
that's true.
Wait,
but
repeat what you said?
But I just want to remind Sawyer that his character can speak with animals. They
Of course,
would know.
she's a
Like, she knows that, like, she knows that Liliana's probably telling the truth, but she's just kind of being demeaning just for the fun of it.
Just for funsies.
And while Liliana, like, makes these, like, spider clicking noises at Primrose, I can imagine, and Primrose just, like, gasps and puts her hand to her chest and just goes, what did you just do?
Oh, yeah.
You called my mother a what?
Lana sees this happening and she looks over to Sam very uncomfortably. And she tries to scoot closer to where the children and Irina are.
Irina is very concerned about all of this talk of speaking with animals.
Yes, supposedly that is a normal thing that they do. And she looks over to the two elves.
Primrose is just sitting crisscross applesauce with her hands in her lap, not even opening her eyes, just listening to everything and just definitely purposefully ignoring everyone.
Okay, I need to take a bio break really quick, and I also need to get my oldest to bed. So how about we do a 10-minute break? We'll come back at... Actually, it'd be about a 7-minute break. We'll come back at 10.
Okay.
Let's do that. Because this next part, if you guys want to do a little role play, you can. But I'm not going to force you. We're not going to do a whole big travel... You know, how many days it takes you. We will start with you guys finding a camp and taking a long rest.
Ah, good. Long rest, all we need.
I am back. Everybody just let me know when you guys are back.
Okay, I thought of something.
Hmm.
Can you imagine Primrose like casting speak to animals and then Liliana saying something in like her spider language? Like Liliana could say something like, I like to have eggs for breakfast in spider, and it would sound like clicking noises.
Mm-hmm.
And then Primrose being able to understand and knowing that other people can't understand, she would definitely like glance around at everyone else and then look at Liliana and then just gasp and like put her hand on her chest and be like, what did you just say about my family? Because she knows that nobody else knows what Liliana said. And so everyone would look at Liliana and be like, whoa, what did you say to her?
The only way that you guys can kind of do that is if you both cast Speak with Animals with the animal that is there present. And it would be really funny because if you guys say we're talking to a spider, that spider would look at you like, what?
Yeah, like Liliana like absolutely could not defend herself if that happened. Because like I think it would be funny. Just like, what did you just say about my family? And
Oh
then
yeah, no,
Liliana's
it'd be
like,
hilarious.
Whoa. Huh?
I said it would be hilarious.
It would. Like, Liliana would have zero way of defending herself. Like,
Okay.
oh god.
Are we ready
Evil.
to start back up?
No,
Yep.
people are dying out there. Mother is dying, and so is the girlfriend.
Oh no.
I just call like Ash's mom Mother because
Mhm.
yes, and so like her foot like went numb in the bathroom, so she's like needing help walking. Probably
Oh,
back to the
no.
little computer station.
Yeah, I sent you a picture of the Ankh that I
see it.
finally finished.
It's nice.
I was sitting on the floor doing that, so
Oh,
my leg
no.
fell asleep.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. Juan was helping me walk.
Okay. Are we all
Gets
ready?
worse as we're older.
Dude, it does. Watch out.
Yes, ready.
Okay, you guys all get in the cart. Irina gets in the front to take the reins of Mikhail. Is anybody going to go up and sit next to her?
No, Primrose is in fact sitting in the very back corner of the cart, ignoring everyone.
Lana is totally going to sit up front.
Okay.
You just see Liliana just slowly but surely scooting towards Primrose without her noticing.
Primrose is like curled up in the corner of the cart, like just staring at the floor. And Liliana is just
Staring into the abyss.
yeah. Like Primrose is like fully like dissociated, like she's taking like the bells on her wrist and just holding them up to her ear and jingling them softly to remind herself of her newfound family.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, sad.
You guys travel for a few hours, basically until it starts to get dark. And Irina tells everyone to, set up your bedrolls and your tents, whatever you have, to be able to sleep. Are you guys going to take shifts to watch, or what is going to happen? Do you guys want to take shifts?
Lana will take a shift.
Yeah, my vote is shift.
Primrose will also probably pick up the shift after
Yeah.
Lana.
And Liliana will also do
Well, in all
Primrose.
honesty, you really only need 3 people to take a shift.
Yeah, me and Primrose and someone else will do a shift because, we
Wait,
only need...
that I think that would depend on who needs like the 8 hours more, because like Primrose
we only
and
need 4.
yeah, Primrose and Liliana only need 4 hours to,
Meditate.
So that depends on who needs the 8 hours. They should not take watch.
Well, they could still take
I could
watch.
definitely
They can
do-
still take watch and get 8 hours of sleep.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Lana looks to the 2 elves and then she looks to Sam and she says, I will stay up for first watch.
Okay.
I'll take whichever watch anybody wants me to. Until then, just however it goes.
I'll take the watch after Lana, and I suppose that settles it. Purposefully not including Liliana in the conversation.
Okay. So, Lana, you're taking the first watch. Everybody gets bedded down. Ismark. Irina makes sure to stay close to Ismark so she can keep an eye on him.
Before I go to sleep for the night, since
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of slots left, I'll burn slots healing East March the rest of the way.
Okay.
I'll hit him with, I guess, a Cure Wounds and a, what do you call it? Frickin'
Healing word.
No.
You have healing word,
I have
and you.
I have a second level slot available still, so I can still use. I can actually use Prayer of Healing and hit everybody who still needs a little bit of healing. It's not that we're not going to be able to spend hit dice anyway, but because he had a broken neck, I want to make sure I throw a good healing spell at him.
Oh yeah.
So I'll use Prayer Healing,
Okay.
which is my other slot for before we go to bed, since we're about to take a long rest anyway.
Yeah, just let me know how many hit points he gets.
I have a question.
Hold on, Primrose.
Okay, nice.
Wow. 16, 23, 26, 27.
27.
Got max dice on that one.
Nice. It is not, the game log is not doing what it is supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had to reload, apparently. Okay. So you did that. That
Ooh,
gave
wow.
him 23 hit, 27
Well,
hit
that's
points.
27 hit points to everybody who still had damage.
Yeah.
And hit points
6
to
people.
everyone?
Yeah, to everyone.
Yes!
Yes, max health. Let's go. We love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're about to take a long rest anyway, so it really doesn't matter much, but just in case.
Can I do that long rest right now?
That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
You guys, but we're gonna do our watches first. So,
Okay.
Primrose, you had a question.
Oh yeah, no, my question has already been addressed.
Oh, okay. So, Lana, I need you to make 3 perception rolls.
Okay,
And
I did one.
I see the one, which
It
is
was
an 18.
Do I still get the D4?
I don't think so.
I think that only lasts an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Let me
fine.
look.
My other 2 were shit.
No. It says up to 1 minute. Yeah, it doesn't say any other specific time, but it's fine. So, Lana, as you're taking the first watch, within the first couple hours, you hear things moving through the woods. And you can see Boomer as he gets up, and you can hear him let out this soft growl before he starts to slowly move into the woods.
Well, Lana's gonna wake up Sam and Liliana, since it's her pet. And she's going to say, Boomer ran off into the woods. There's some noise.
What? What? And she sort of just like runs towards where Boomer was. And it's just like, what? Where did he?
You guys hear some rustling and look at Irina, who's sitting up. She rubs her eyes, stretches her arms over her head, and lets out a yawn. Wolves come out at night, and not just normal wolves. He might have seen something and he's chasing it off. I wouldn't go too far.
Lana's gonna hold out her silver sword and her shield as she waits for Boomer to come back.
It doesn't take long. The noises around you stop. And Boomer comes back, and he seems to be fine. He's panting, because he probably ran quite a bit. But then he comes over to Liliana, and he plops down, and he starts to go back to sleep.
I will do the same.
Towards the end of your watch, you don't hear anything again. There's nothing that comes out. And at the end of your watch, you get up and you go nudge Primrose. You can tell me how you do that.
She's going to use her foot to the top of her foot to kind of nudge Primrose until she stirs. And when she starts to stir, Lana will just say, "Your time is up."
Primrose is, as soon as she started to feel the nudging of the boot, her eyes just shot open as if she had never even been to sleep in the first place. But in reality, she's just a light sleeper. And she immediately sat straight up and hopped out of her little bedroll, and as chipper as ever, as if she hadn't just woken up from a deep sleep, and clapped her hands together and said, "All right, you go off and head to bed now. You need your rest. I hope you sleep well after your watch. Good night." And
Lana
then
gives a curt nod to Primrose before she turns over to her own area and goes to sleep. And she passes out within a minute.
Okay. Primrose, I need you to do the same thing as Lana and make 3 perception rolls.
3. Okay, 1. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. This is
Oh.
7.
You need to make 3. So
Okay.
let's do 3.
Okay.
Give me your commentary. 7, 23, and 9.
Okay. Your first watch, the first hour or so of your watch, you don't notice anything. There's nothing rustling in the woods. Everything seems to be quiet. You might hear the occasional cricket. Or maybe is that a frog? Is that a frog croaking or trilling? Anyway. Towards the middle
Primrose is just like snacking leaves.
Towards the middle of your watch, you hear flapping. And when you look up, there's a raven sitting in the tree, looking down at you guys. Just
Primrose
curiously watching you.
Primrose like immediately notices it and looks to it and gives it a very cheerful wave, as if it was just another person on the street, even an old friend maybe, and just gives it a very cheerly "good evening," and then goes back to staring absent-mindedly into the woods, every so often glancing up at the raven with the same curious look that it's giving her.
When
Like
you
mimicking its behavior.
when you wave at this raven, you watch as its body bows. And it even kind of kind of cause out evening.
Primrose just, in response to that, just gives a very solemn nod, and as if she's not even surprised by this interaction. It's just... she just nods and just goes off and looks into the woods, as if this was incredibly normal for a bird to respond to you with almost human-like words.
Well, you would know, being a druid and hanging out in the woods, that certain birds have enough intelligence to be taught words.
Yes. But
So,
she just, I don't know, it's just not a normal experience for her to just casually, well, I mean, for her it is, but for other people usually don't talk to birds, but she's just acting as if this is the most normal thing she's ever done in her life.
everyone else is sleeping, so it's not like they pay attention anyway. The rest of your watch, the raven doesn't leave. It just kind of, you watch it get closer to the trunk of the tree, and it just kind of cuddles up against the tree and gets ready to go to sleep.
Primrose just watches it and says, mainly to herself, but very much out loud, "A friend." Aw. I suppose birds need their rest as much as humans do. Well, I'm glad that it can find its comfort in our little camp.
The bird doesn't respond.
She's just talking casually to a bird.
The end of your shift goes fairly smoothly. You don't hear anything and you don't see anything besides the raven, who is sleeping on the branch in the tree.
Is the bird snoring?
No.
Dang it.
But at the end of your shift, since you did not hear or say who was going to take third shift,
Can Sam do it? I want to torture the human.
Yeah, I thought Sam was doing it.
I know Sam said something, but I also know Liliana said something, so that's why I was giving Primrose, okay, are you going to choose Sam or are you going to choose Liliana?
At the end of what she deems to be her shift, she gets up very briskly and dusts herself off, giving the bird at least another glance before going over to Sam and kneeling down next to him, like placing her hands on his arm and just gently shaking him while calling out, "Sam, Sam, it's time to wake up."
He'll wake up, blink twice, sit up, nod. Did I actually get a long rest in?
Yes. Everybody's
Cool.
getting long rests in right now.
So,
Cool.
she-
Give her a nod, thank you much, and start putting his armor on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, before you go to your watch, there is a rather nice and rather gentlemanly bird that's trying to rest, so if you could keep it down so that he doesn't wake, that would be much appreciated. When I waved at him, he in turn gave me a bow and cawed an evening at me and is now sleeping. So, I think a kind bird deserves his rest. So, if it's not too much, just
Okay then.
keep it down.
Wasn't really planning on making much noise anyway.
I see. Well, good night to you, and I hope you have a good shift.
Good night. I hope it's quiet as well.
She goes back to her little bedding area and and just like immediately like passes out within 30 seconds.
Okay. Now, Sam. 3 perception checks.
Certainly. I will take guidance on them since I'm doing it to myself. That first one is a 12.
12.
Second one is a
12.
19 or 18.
18.
Sorry, mathing is terrible.
Nothing is hard. And a 24.
27.
27. Okay, so You got a 12, 18, and a 27. Okay. Your first watch, your first bit of the watch, you do look up and you see the raven that is just sleeping in the tree. You're looking around, listening as best as you can. You don't really hear much. Again, just like with Primrose, you really just hear maybe the occasional cricket or the trill of a frog. As your watch goes on, you don't hear footsteps, but you do hear howling in the distance. It's not enough to wake everyone because it's far enough away, but you do hear howling in the distance.
All right.
You know that it is not a natural wolf's howl.
Interesting.
Towards the end of your shift, as the sun is slowly rising, you might see a little peak of light starting to come up from the trees. You see 4 pairs of eyes watching your camp. They're still in the shadows, so you can't exactly see what or who it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you see eyes watching your camp. They're not approaching. They're not even making an attempt to get closer. But it's almost as if they want you to know that they are there and they're watching.
Of course they do.
As this is happening, you hear this soft caw from the tree, and the raven that was there ruffles its feathers before flying off into the direction of where those eyes are watching you from. And as the raven goes in that direction, you can see the eyes follow it before running off and disappearing.
Yeah, good. Nobody has to get woke up.
And now it is morning. You guys have gotten your long rest in, and everybody is slowly waking up.
Yeah, Primrose just, immediately hops out of bed like she's nothing better to do. And just immediately goes up to Liliana and kneels down and starts shaking her the same way that she did Sam, saying, wake up, it's time to get up. The day's already started now.
And you see Liliana just turn her head slightly because she's been awake this whole time because she only needed 4 hours. So she's just been awake, just staring at
The grass.
wood, grass or wood, and he's just like, hi.
Oh, you're awake? Now, come on, let's go wake up Lana. And she goes on this probably very unwise endeavor to wake up the 8-foot-tall giant.
And before she does that, Liliana's like, I prefer my neck, thanks.
Oh, well, I don't mind losing it. She just goes up to where
Lana's already awake,
Ah.
standing up.
Oh god. I can just imagine Primrose turning around and she's just like, oh, she's already awake. Oh, what a shame.
Lana looks down at Primrose, and she looks very serious. And she, her hair kind of got a little messed up. And you can see that, even though she had restful sleep, she still has bags under her eyes. And she looks over to Sam and then looks over to Irina and she says, how much longer until we get to where we're supposed to be going? If you're talking, you're muted.
Sorry, I was getting a drink. You caught me as I was
Okay.
drinking. Ismark and Irina are up, and they're putting their things away, and when you ask this question, Ismark looks back at you. We should be at Vallaki before nightfall, so long as we move quickly.
Lana nods and she says, we have no time to lose then. And she starts tossing the kids into the cart.
The kids stayed in the cart, so they're still in the cart. The kids probably would have stayed in the cart because they would have been safer there.
Well, she goes to turn to look for the kids, and then she looks in the cart and she sees they're in there, and she says,
Both of
"Good."
their heads just kind of pop up over the side, and they just kind of wave.
It's like Primrose just like squeals a little and does a little like she like shakes her hands happily and waves at both of them. Good morning. How have you slept? She's way too eager to see these children.
The girl is looking at you, Primrose. I slept okay. And
Good to hear.
the boy looks at the younger girl. We slept okay. It was warm back here. The straw was nice.
Well, that's good. It's
Miss
Well,
Irina
I
gave
think
us a
about-
blanket.
Oh, that's awfully kind of her. Well, I'm taking it upon myself to ensure that you have a comfortable and relatively stress-free journey as much as I can. So I'm glad to hear that you're well rested. You might need it for this journey after all.
You're kind of scary. Can somebody else watch us?
She just
Lana nods and she climbs into the cart and she says, I agree with you. She is far too chipper.
She doesn't seem too hurt by it, except for like a semi-nervous smile on her face and puts a hand to her chest. Am I that scary? I'm just trying. I'm not even trying, I just seem to be a positive and optimistic person, which I understand you might not see that very often, so I do not blame you for thinking of me as scary. But where I come from, and the places I've traveled to, this kind of mannerism is relatively normal, but you do live in a rather depressing environment.
You just watch the kids. They just basically go fucking dark in their eyeballs. They just, the moment you started talking and you were trying to talk and like trying to tell them, you know, that your mood is normal, they just completely blacked out, basically. They look at they look at Lana and they just kind of scoot closer to her because she's the biggest.
Primrose just
Oh, Sam just keeps laughing at everybody because this is just freaking gold.
Primrose just stays silent and then just goes, all right then, and then just turns around and goes over to Sam. Good morning, Sam. Well, I hope
Morning, Prim.
you find me scary.
Wait, repeat that?
I hope you don't find me scary.
Creepy, yes. Scary, no.
Oh,
Lana, when she hears that, she says, I would ask you to reflect on your statement about where we are and understand that the way you are coming off is rather unpleasant.
Sam just turns and looks at Lana, then looks at Primrose, then looks back at Lana, then looks at Liliana, then looks and just starts laughing his ass off.
Don't quite understand what you mean. I don't see much wrong with how I act.
The kids, as they're watching Sam laugh, you guys can hear them.
Primrose is just so lost and confused.
Lana is also confused, and she just
So
looks.
kids. Oh, God, sorry.
She's got her brow furrowed, and she's become lost in thought.
Anna, I don't quite understand what you mean. Even when I reflect upon the environment we're in, I don't see how my behavior is wrong. Is it wrong to be a happy and optimistic person? I like to see the light in everything, even when things seem pitch black. That's just my nature, I suppose, and I don't think I should have to change myself for the environment I'm in. It's especially good in these environments to stay positive, although I don't think you would know anything about that.
And Liliana like pipes up and it's like, you see, okay. So the way I see it, you are happy to cope with the loss of your friends and family due to past traumas, and you try to stay more positive and optimistic in order to block that from your brain to make sure that it doesn't affect anyone else, which could cause more trauma to you.
I got lost on the first few words you said. You don't speak very coherently, you know that, right? Although you're an elf, are you also... And then she quiets her voice a little and says, illiterate? That's a shame. You seemed very bright. Like, she turns sour at that last remark. Like, with a
Sam gets out a bunch of rations and a water skin, starts feeding the kids, offering some food to Irina, and I'm treating this like a show, like eating, drinking, watching the show.
This is
Oh,
just
yeah.
a cat fight.
Irina is totally with you, Sam. Like, she gets like real close to you, and she's eating and drinking, and the kids come cuddle closer to both of you, and you watch as the boy kind of looks up at you. He goes, "My name's Freak."
Freak?
Freak.
Freak, I'm Sam. Nice to meet you.
Freak?
Freek.
Gotcha. And what's your name to the other one?
Oh.
And he's absolutely whispering to try not to disturb the argument.
Oh, I'm, and Freak kind of pipes up. That's Myrtle. She's my little sister.
Myrtle, nice to meet you too. You guys come on, sit over here, get ready for the show.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Primrose is like digging in on Liliana.
Okay.
I'm freaking Myrtle. Okay, anyway, Primrose is like digging in here. She's like, I don't know what you think my family has to do with my behavior, but I have cut ties with anything to do with them, and if I were you, I would take care to not compare me to them in any way.
And Liliana chuckles to herself and she's like, there's the gold point. I mean, me too, but what can we do?
I just believe that it is wise to be happy and optimistic whenever possible. I know that in certain circumstances it is best to be sad, like at a funeral or when you experience a loss, but at other times you should at least try to see the bright side. I don't know what depressing mess you're going through, but I choose to be a bit wiser and keep my head on my shoulders.
You see Liliana just sort of like move her shoulder, like the kind of like when someone's like trying to be like, okay, breathe kind of motion, because like she knows that she like has more like knowledge of, I don't know, arguments, because military background, and she's just like, I mean, hey, your family, your business, but Try not to be too happy. It's scaring the kids.
Lana looks very confused at this entire situation. And as Primrose gets more seemingly upset, Lana is going to pick her up and sit her next to Lana. And she's going to pat her head and she's going to say, "Just sit quietly, please."
You guys hear Ismark as he's hooking Mikhail up to the cart. Are we done fighting now? Are we done fighting like children now?
I believe they are, yes.
Good. Get in the cart.
Primrose just says nothing. She has her arms crossed and her eyes closed and just lets out a little huff of breath out of her nose. Not childlike, but rather like she's trying her best to recompose and regather herself.
Good. We don't need more children on this trip. You can hear the kids giggling with Sam.
Lana's going to pull out a ration and start eating it, and she's going to offer some of it to Primrose.
Irina's giggling as she kind of pats Sam as a thank you on his shoulder and hops off the cart to get up in the front with Ismark.
When Primrose was offered the rations from Lana, she immediately perks up with a small smile on her face as if nothing had happened, and very happily takes it, and bows her head slightly before she says, "Well, I suppose I was wrong. You might not hate me so much after all," she says dismissively as she starts eating. And refuses to expand on that. She just leaves it at that.
Lana says something in Giant, but her mannerism is very closed off, and she sits back just watching Primrose as she starts talking, and she shakes her head and just continues eating.
If I may ask, what did you say in Giant?
I will message you.
Oh god. Nervous.
Since you're the only person that speaks Giant, correct? There's nobody else that speaks Giant?
I believe Liliana is the only other person who speaks Giant, yes.
Yeah. So,
I'm trying to figure out where to look for my languages. Oh gosh.
It is,
Lower left.
Yep, lower left corner, you will see saving throws, senses, and right underneath that it has proficiencies and languages. You'll see your armor proficiency, weapon proficiency, tools, and then languages. You have common, druidic, elvish, and orc.
I thought orc would be pretty cool.
Orc is cool. You can literally throw orcish insults at people, and most people won't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just know that, I may ask you to actually say those insults out loud. In Orcish. In front of the group.
In Orcish?
Mm-hmm.
What does speaking orc sound like?
To me, I associate it somewhat to Klingon from Star Trek.
I've never watched Star Trek.
That's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah, look up Klingon from Star Trek. Look that up. Look up Worf from Star Trek.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say the Orcish and WoW.
I mean, the Orcish and WoW is a lot like... It sounds like Klingon. It's a lot of guttural sounds and grunts.
Yeah, harsh like that. But
Yeah.
there are a bunch of words that are out somewhere. I know there's Orcish out there somewhere. Because I don't know whether Tolkien did Orcish when he did Elven and Dwarven too, but it's out there somewhere.
Yep, I have found a couple of websites that have Orcish insults and greetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Nora spoke Orcish out loud.
I know Wozak has as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So everybody gets in the cart, and Lana is doing her thing. The kids are eating their rations, and they're pretty happy, eating their rations. They eat them quite fast, because it's very obvious they haven't really eaten very well in a while. But Ismark and Irina get up in the front, and they get Mikhail going, and you guys start going back down on the road.
Lana is going to lean out to where Ismark and Irina are, and she is going to say, I am happy that you did not die, Ismark.
You watch Ismark, and his neck is a bit stiff when he turns to look at you over his shoulder. I appreciate the sentiment.
She nods and leans back in.
You okay? Directed at Ismark.
Neck is sore.
That it?
That's about it.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I still feel like I could sleep, but...
Well, that's to be expected. It was a pretty traumatic experience.
Yes. Yes, it was. And you can see him kind of like... He very obviously disassociates for about 10 seconds before he shakes his head and he starts paying attention to the road again. Irina just puts a hand on his back and just kind of rubs his back a little. You guys travel. And unless you guys want to RP anything, I'm not going to make you go through a ton of stuff. You'll see random people. But one person you see, Primrose and you guys, but Primrose mainly, will notice that it's a Vistani on horseback that you guys are approaching.
Rose, she was usually dissociating before, just kind of absent-mindedly patting the side of the wagon, the cart rather, and as soon as she sees a Vistani, she immediately, perks up. She looks like she's about to stand up, but then very much realizes that standing up would not be the best right now, since, isn't the cart still moving?
Yeah, you guys are moving.
Yeah, she looks like she's about to stand up, but then realizes that maybe that's not so smart. So she, skitters over almost to the side that's closest, where she can get the best view of the Vistani, and she points, and, it looks to the group, and goes, "That's a Vistani! Everyone look! Look!" And then she just starts, bouncing up and down where she sits, and the bells on her wrist jingle with her shaking her hands. Her hands are in balls, and she's, shaking them excitedly, and bouncing up and down, looking around at everyone expectantly. Definitely looking like she's expecting a similar reaction from them that she's giving. She assumes that they will also be so excited.
You guys get side by side with this Vistani on this very beautiful black horse. And it is a man with long black hair. He's got a nice beard growing in. And when he hears the bells, he looks at you with confusion on his face. Are you okay?
Oh, yes, I'm rather all right. Why do you ask?
Why do you jump and shake so much? I could hear you from back there.
Well, I suppose I'm a rather loud person. However, I'm just excited to see what appears to be a Vistani in her path.
Being loud will get you killed here. You should learn to be quiet.
Well, I can manage myself and manage to not get killed.
I highly doubt that. But do enjoy yourself while you're here. Don't get too comfortable. You won't live long enough.
Oh, don't worry. I'm never comfortable in places I settle.
I do not think you will be settling here. You will die before you can do that. But do enjoy yourself. And you see he tries to get his horse to pick up the pace.
She looks like absolutely like starstruck. Like she's like a little kid that just saw McDonald's. Like, and then she just kind of lays down, like just kind of flops down and just stares at the sky. And then she looks at Liliana and she just goes, "Aren't people so interesting?" And then she looks at Lana and then at Sam. I really wonder. People are so interesting. As if she's never talked to another human being before. Oh, yes. Silence.
As the Vistani goes ahead of you, you watch as he takes what looks to be like a side road. And he's riding, and you actually see two ravens fly across the sky and start following him. And then you see two more fly above you. And they're going in the direction you guys are going, straight.
Like, she leans over, kind of, like, rolls over a bit, and starts, like, tapping Sam profusely, and just tap, tap, tap excitedly. And she goes, Sam, look! And then she points in the sky at the birds. Look, we're
Yes,
being
they are
followed.
birds.
Or, do you think we're being followed or led, is the real question.
Both?
That doesn't... Are they following us, or are we following them?
More like they know where we're going and are fluttering over us, and sometimes are flying ahead of us. So we're both... Both? Same time?
It's interesting. Huh. I am just so excited.
They don't appear to be malicious, so I'm not really concerned about it.
Oh, I'm not concerned. I'm just happy. I rather like
You can
birds.
always ask them. Or, Liliana could ask them, since she's the one that talks to animals.
Well, I can also speak to animals. Liliana's not the only one.
Oh, I thought we were just going to continue that joke for a while. Anyway.
Sorry. But she just looks up at the sky and then back at Sam. Birds are one of my more favorite animal companions these days. I find myself liking them more than things like foxes, dogs, cats, and wolves. I just think birds...
Why is that?
I just think that birds have a certain... What's the word? Freedom and mystery to them. They're very elegant, and they can go wherever they want, whenever they want. I don't actually believe I have a reason for liking them so much. I believe I'm just intrigued by them. I love
Alrighty
that
then.
they can go wherever they want, whenever they please. They don't have to worry about people on the ground blocking their way. They can just go all the way above it. And when she says that, she stretches her hand toward the sky before she lets it fall back down to her side. They're very free, and they're beautiful, don't you think? Especially they're in all kinds of colors, some blue, red. I've even seen a few pink and green. I kind of think they might be much like elves and humans. Which, it's obvious with the way she says that it's almost like she thinks that those might be the most intelligent species from her experiences, as, again, she has very limited contact with people of other races. So those are, like, the only two ones she can think of. I think they might be much similar to elves and humans in that regard. They're very unique, and they're intelligent, like that raven when I waved. He bowed back. He knew the message I was trying to send, I'm sure. They're very capable, intelligent, free, and unique. They just have a certain mystique to them, I suppose.
As Primrose continues to speak, Lana looks so bored, and she just looks at Sam, and she says something in Infernal this time. And
Ooh, that one I speak.
oh, I'll send it to you.
Oh god.
Hold on, I gotta.
Primrose just keeps going on about all the kinds of birds that she's seen on her journey. Specifically, notably, she loves to touch on birds that are rather short and very, very round and fat because she thinks they're adorable. Like, most notably, she's always no matter what kind of bird she's talking about, she always compares it to a bird that's very short and stout and just very plump with a very tiny beak and even tinier eyes. Like a kiwi.
Okay, I'm gonna send you my response, but Sam does laugh at what she says in Infernal.
Yeah, Primrose just drones on and on and on about all the types of birds she's seen on her travels and journeys. And also an experience where she saw a crow pick up a piece of bread and then dip it in a puddle before eating it.
That's like that one.
She goes on. Lana is going to lean back out towards Ismark and Irina and say, the ravens, are they normally following or leading people to their destination?
Send my reply to you.
I saw.
You watch Ismark think about it, and Irina even thinks about it before Ismark shrugs and Irina kind of answers. They're birds. I mean,
Didn't we see Strahd turn into Raven?
no, he turned into bats.
Bats. Okay. That must have been the other campaign. Because I could have sworn we saw him turn into ravens. At one point.
No, I think it was bats in the other one too.
Yeah, it was bats in the other one too.
Then what turned into ravens? Are you sure?
Nothing. It was just there were just a
Nothing.
lot of
There were just a lot of ravens following us.
It was the
Stop
whole beginning
pawing
of
at
that
me.
campaign was the swarms, because what's-his-face threw stuff at them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Didn't he kill one?
Yes.
As you guys continue your travel and all of the talking, and the kids are, occasionally you'll hear one of the kids going, "Are we there yet?" Typical kid things.
Lana, when she hears them ask that, she looks to them like, yes, ask the question, please. And she waits for the answer with bated breath.
You watch Irina look back and she laughs. We're almost there. It's okay. And you guys, as you're riding, you watch the sun get further and further down into the horizon. There's just a bit of daylight left when you guys finally get to the gates of Vallaki. You watch as Ismark, and you feel it as he slows Mikhail's place. On each side of the road, you see large, spiked pieces of wood, like pikes, shoved into the ground, and on each pike, there are 3 on each side, are dire wolf heads. And you hear Boomer let out a really deep and guttural growl when he sees this.
Are we supposed to be able to see it on the map? Or are we just looking at the entrance to...
You guys... There's these 3 right here.
Oh, okay.
And there's these 3 right here.
I couldn't really tell what that was.
Yeah, they're wolf's heads on pikes. Boomer is very obviously upset. And from behind the gate, you can hear a guard. "What is your business? And why is that thing with you?"
We are trying to get to town. Vallaki, specifically.
"Well, you have made it, but that thing is not allowed." And he gestures with his spear to Boomer.
Lana gets out of the cart and she stands up and looks at the spear holder and she says, "It is not a thing, it is an animal, and it is our pet."
You watch this guard kind of sneer at you. "You see what we do to them, right?" And he gestures to the wolf's heads on the pikes. He is not allowed.
We do see what you do to those creatures, and we will do well to make sure that that won't happen to our pets.
He is not allowed.
Why?
Because he is not allowed. It is the rules. Now state your business or leave.
You just hear Liliana say, "Well, if your rules are so uppity, then why don't you just go talk to him about it, You can tell she only said that because she was trying to fill in for words other than curses in Elvish.
Lana looks very confused and she walks over to Liliana and she says, "It may be best if Boomer
No.
hangs out in the forest."
No, because if those dumb hunters get to my Boomer, I am going to do unspeakable things.
Well, you can't just go around killing and maiming people now, can you?
Exactly. You'll be
about this,
put in the
Al?
stocks for it.
Lana looks
Excuse me,
at
gentlemen. Happen to be an alternative we can come up with, and I am going to attempt, and I'm terrible at this because I have crap at this shit, but I'm going to try for some type of, I guess, persuasion is the best
You
thing.
want to persuade them?
Yeah, I get, like, I'm just trying, not so much persuade them, but just,
Bribe them?
I mean, that would be persuasion too. But I mean, not that I would be unwilling to bribe them, but yeah, I guess, man, maybe that would actually be the better thing to do. But like, just see
Lana
if there's
puts
something
her hands on her hips, and
I'm just trying to
she
see if there's an alternate solution to this, or is it just going to be lock, stock, and barrel? Wolf can't come in the town.
The wolf cannot come in. I will let you roll, or whoever wants to roll, you know. If somebody, Sam can roll, and if somebody wants to try and also help persuade, that can give Sam advantage.
Yeah, because Sam's not trying to be a dick. He's just trying to see
Yeah.
if there's anything done about it. Like, is there a license we can buy? Is there, like, you know, if we stable, what can we do here?
Right now, they're saying there is nothing that can be done. The
I'll
wolf
give
has
myself
to-
guidance.
Yep.
That'll be the best thing.
Does anybody want to help Sam so he can get advantage?
Lana will say, if you have anything that needs to be done in turn of safe passage for our direwolf here, we will do it.
You know, he's our ranger's bonded companion. So yeah, there we go. Let's make dice now. Holy shit!
Very
Was that
nice.
a nat?
That's
20?
a nat
Yeah.
20.
Wow.
Very nice.
I have a 0 bonus to my
You do,
persuasion.
so that's fantastic.
0.
Okay, so 22.
Yeah, I'm
But it's
not
a
even going
nat
to take the
20.
second roll because, yeah.
Give me a moment.
Wow. Ah! That's funny.
Okay. You watch as the two guards that are there kind of whisper to each other for a moment. $100 gold and the dog can come in.
Lana pulls out 4 of the 6 necklaces and she says, how about jewelry instead?
Wait. I have an idea. These guards, would they know how much this jewelry is worth?
I mean, they look at it and they know it's cheap.
Ugh, dang it. Okay, continue.
It's not as glittery as a good piece of jewelry.
Dang it. Okay, anyway, continue.
They look at the jewelry. And you see the one kind of snub at that idea. But the other puts his hand through the iron bars of the gate.
She gives him 2. And she says, once we are in, I will give you the other 2.
Give them all now, because we still have questions. And this way we will make sure that thing is protected in here.
Speak your questions.
He drops the 2 pieces you gave him. 4 now. So we can have all of it now. Or you don't come in.
Lana gives over the other two.
He takes all 4 and he gives 2 to the other guard and he keeps 2 for himself and he shoves it in a pouch on his belt. State your names and the reason why you are here.
Al?
Lana gently puts her hand over her heart and she bows and she looks back up and she says, "My name is Lana. This is," and she points to the cart and she says everybody's name, and then she'll point to Sam, say his name and what have you, and then she'll look back to the guards and she'll say, "We are looking for safe passage to bring Irina somewhere safe and secure. We were told to head here."
Ismark pipes up. "We'd like to see Father Lucian." And you watch the 2 guards kind of look at each other. We have one more question.
Speak it.
What are your thoughts on the devil of this place?
Lana looks to the group and then she looks back at him and she says, "I would assume it's the same as anybody who lives here. Much disdain."
Does anybody else have anything to say?
Primrose is sitting awkwardly but pipes up from near the back. Well, he told me I was beautiful, yet that I reeked of death, so strong disliking?
You watch the guards nod. And the one that really hasn't spoken much to you goes over and he starts to open the gate. You will wait to come through while we explain the laws here. Firstly, once you are inside Vallaki, you will not speak a word about the devil. It is not allowed, and doing so will get you the stocks. And you see the one laugh. Or the Reformation Center. Even writing about him will get you one of those punishments. Instead, you must refer to him as the devil. You will not mention him by name. Secondly, this noble town holds a festival each week in honor of the residents' general merriment and continued support of our Burgermeister, Baron Vargas Valakovich. As guests of Vallaki, you will not be required for the preparation of the festivals. However, your attendance and participation in each and every festival is absolutely mandatory for the length of your stay. Failure to attend will be in strict opposition of Vallakian law. And the next great festival, the Festival of the Blazing Sun, will be held in 4 days' time in the town square. Thirdly, failure to comply with any Valachian law will mark you as criminals to our city, and you will be punished as such in accordance to our justice system. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them.
Are those the only laws that we need to be extra wary of? Or is there anything else?
You will need to register all of your weapons with us.
What does this
including the
register
beast.
mean?
What does that entail?
We take note of all of your weapons and things that you have on you. This way, say something gets lost, we can find it easily and return it back to you, making sure that it is yours before we attempt to return it to you.
These seem like compliable laws.
Okay.
Shall we move on to do the registration?
Sure.
You watch as 3 more guards come up, and each of them has what looks to be essentially like a clipboard and a piece of parchment and something to write with, so they can get your full names and all of your weapons and equipment. They even do so for Ismark and Irina, and you see all of them kind of bow to Ismark and Irina because they know, after they hear the name Kolyanovich, they know that this is a noble house of Barovia, so they do demand some respect here. So, you guys all go through, give your names, they register all of your weapons, all of your equipment. They even take a thick leather strap and they tie it. I shouldn't say tie it. They buckle it onto Boomer's paw. Basically to show that he is Liliana's property.
Okay. Lana looks when they do it. She will speak up and say, and this will guarantee that no one will try to bring harm to him.
We will make sure no one brings harm to the beast. But if he attacks anyone in town, or if you all attack anyone in town, just know it won't end well for you.
Understood.
What about in the case of self-defense?
Self-defense is hard to prove. But, depending on the circumstance, if it is self-defense, then you may have probable cause for what you did. Either way, there may still be a punishment for you. There is to be no fighting of any kind here in Vallaki. We are a happy town.
Lana is going to lean over to Primrose and say, see, happiness can be very creepy.
Understand now that, well, I've understood previously, but I understand that in this environment it is not appropriate to be as chipper as normal, and I will do best to regulate. Does that please you?
Lana looks at Primrose like she grew a third eye. She sounds very creepy, and Lana is not happy. And
Primrose notices Lana's expression and just, like, tilts her head to the side, just looking like she has no clue what she did wrong.
Okay. You guys get the registry done, and the guards gesture for you all to go inside. They tell you that when you get inside, the Blue Water Inn is just off from the town square. And they tell you that's one place that you can sleep and lay your heads for the night.
Lana's going to bow before she starts to head in the direction of the inn.
Should we not go to Father Julius, was it, first?
Lucian.
Lucian.
No,
Father
it
Lucian.
is too late.
Oh yeah, it is just getting nighttime, that's right.
We should have a good meal. Put some food in these children's bellies.
No, I'll
and
agree
then
with that.
See the father in the morning.
You all get into the town square. And you guys, the first thing that you see is you see a little fountain. And then you guys see the stocks. The stocks are huge. There is a gallows there, and there are actually 4 people in the front stocks. Each of them has a donkey's mask on, and people are throwing rotten vegetables, stones, everything at them that they can.
Why are people throwing food at these poor individuals?
That's what being in the stocks is. That is how punishment is dictated here. They broke the rules, and that's the punishment. You hang out there and people get to throw stuff at you for whatever they did wrong.
That just seems humiliating.
Yes, that's the idea.
I do not like this place. How long do we have to be here?
Don't know.
You all see that there are people obviously messing with the people in the stocks, but there are also a few people cleaning up. And you can hear them talking about something called the Wolf's Head Jamboree.
Lana is actually going to move. Oh, well, I can't because there's chains there, but she wants to be as close to Boomer as she possibly can. And she's going to rub the side of Boomer.
Boomer is very obviously upset. He visibly, you can feel his body trembling occasionally. He is visibly upset being here. On the chains, you guys can see some flyers, and you see an old one that talks about, it says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron. And you had obviously heard that people were cleaning up and talking about the Wolf's Head Jamboree, so this is already passed. But you see another smaller flyer on the chain. Come one, come all to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron.
Lana's going to move up towards Sam and speak up loud enough so the kids can hear, and she's going to ask the kids, is this where you and your uncle live, or are you from elsewhere?
No, they were from Barovia, they said, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, we're from Barovia.
Do they have festivals in Barovia?
No.
Well, then I guess it's a good thing we came when we did.
Okay.
I'm not actually sure I want to, be here when the festivals happen. Call it a gut. Like a gut feeling.
Lana leans over to Sam and says, whether or not we are here is not the problem. Or is
True
not...
enough.
We are not bringing the kids along on our journey,
No.
are we?
No, we are not. I was hoping that when we go to visit Father Lucian tomorrow, he would know of a place where they could be kept safely.
Ismark kind of leans closer to you, Sam. There is St. Andrew's Orphanage here. It is run by the church.
Excellent.
Let us get to the inn. And
agreed.
You all find this large wooden pole that tells you different ways to go, and it tells you that there's an herbalist one way, there's a tailor another, there's the stockyard, there's the armorer, there's an alchemist, and then it tells you, where the Blue Water Inn is. And you guys move into that direction.
Is there a weaponsmith?
There is a weaponsmith as well, yes.
And is there a healer?
The herbalist is the healer.
The herbalist is the healer. Okay, excellent.
You all go into the direction of the inn because it's starting to get dark. And as it starts to get dark, you guys kind of see those who are out of their homes are rushing and almost panicking to get inside. You can hear guards yelling, "Curfew! Everyone to their homes!"
That was what I was going to ask. Okay.
And as the guards pass by, they give you this look that shows some irritation. Hurry to the inn. And they walk by you. And as you guys move, you find yourselves at the entrance of the Blue Water Inn. And that is where we will end tonight, with you guys getting to the Blue Water Inn.
Lana is incredibly uncomfortable being in this town. She will, on the way to the inn, speak to Sam and Infernal and say, I don't know how long we have to be here, but I hope we make our visit short.
I will completely agree with you on that.
Okay. That is the end of our session tonight, unless Liliana and Primrose have anything to say.
Honestly, all I've been thinking about this whole time is like Primrose she's just looking around wondrously probably like this whole time while everyone is like trying to actually figure out information. She's just like, huh, so many people, so many buildings, and is just like absolutely so out of it. Meanwhile, everyone else is probably like, okay, we need to do this and do that, and she's just having a completely grand old time. Like, that's all I've been thinking about. Honestly, today was great. Today was great. I'm happy. Hey, you got anything to say?
You guys made it to Vallaki!
Yay!
Also,
Hallelujah.
I was expecting a bigger reaction from Liliana about the whole direwolf thing. I was kind of expecting Liliana to like absolutely just lose her mind.
No, she can keep her cool, even though